Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, November 24, 2022. A new water treatment plant will be constructed in Content, St. Catherine to better meet the demand in the Kingston metropolitan area, Portmore, and Spanish Town. The plant, which is expected to be the second largest in Jamaica, will be able to transfer 15 million gallons of water to benefit approximately 150,000 customers. The project is valued at $77 million and construction is slated to be completed in 2 years. It will be managed through a public-private partnership agreement between the National Water Commission, NWC, and Rio Cobre Water Limited. The contract was signed at Jamaica House yesterday. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the agreement will facilitate the design, build, financing, operation, and maintenance of the plant.
Followed by a 23-year period of operation by the private partners, after which ownership of the plant will be transferred to the NWC. The PPP arrangement may also be renewed for an additional 5 years.
Mr. Holness says the plant is a necessity as the growth of several sectors, such as real estate, continues to expand, creating higher water demand across the KMA. He points out that the NWC is required to supply approximately 55 million gallons of water required daily in the KMA, but is currently only able to provide 28 million gallons during the dry season.
So this project is one of the many solutions that we will have to put in place. Right across Jamaica, the NWC in every parish is increasing its utility footprint, meaning that it is providing potable water to a large number of residents.
The country continues its growth trajectory for the year with a 4.3% upward movement for the July to September quarter. Performance for the first 9 months shows an estimated increase of 5.2%. The figures were released by the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, yesterday during its virtual quarterly press briefing. Growth for the third quarter was due to a 4.7% increase in the services industry and over 3% from the goods-producing industry relative to the same period last year. Director General of the PIOJ, Dr. Wayne Henry, says this largely reflects higher levels of employment and productivity in agriculture, as well as higher demand for goods and services. Sectors such as tourism, agriculture, and wholesale and retail were among the top performers. Dr. Henry says the short-term prospects for the economy remains positive.
Economic growth is anticipated for the remainder of this calendar and fiscal year. For October to December 2022, it is projected that the economy will grow within a range of 2.5% to 3.5%, resulting in a calendar year growth, that is January to December 2022, in the range of 4% to 5%. For fiscal year 2022-23, the projection is for growth within the range of 3.5% to 4.5%.
In related news, there has been a jump in government revenue collection for the first 6 months of this fiscal year, with tax revenues exceeding budget by $35 billion. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, says the outturn is due to higher than expected economic performance.
First quarter growth came out at 5.7%, which is much higher than we had. And, Madam Speaker, all categories of revenue are over budget. Revenues from income and profits are up by nearly 13%, or $10 billion.
In addition, he says revenues from production and consumption are up by 7%, or $7 billion, and revenues from international trade are up by 15%, or $18 billion. Revenues from motor vehicle licenses for the first 6 months of the year are 16% higher than budgeted. Dr. Clark was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, where the first supplementary estimates for the 2022-23 fiscal year was approved. It reflects $60 billion in additional spending, moving the budget to $971 billion. The largest component of the supplementary budget is the allocation for public sector salaries and wages, in keeping with the restructuring of compensation. Cabinet has approved the award of a contract to U.S.-based company Phoenix Partnership Leads Limited for implementation of the second stage of the Electronic Health Record (EHR) management system. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton gave the update during this Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives. The EHR management system provides an electronic version of a patient's medical history, including demographics, progress notes, problems, medications, vital signs, past medical history, immunization, laboratory data, and radiology reports. The intention is to provide a complete and accurate summary of an individual's medical history, which can be shared to improve the delivery of care and provide quality data for decision makers across the country's health facilities.
This, therefore, will result in a more efficient diagnosis and treatment. Madam Speaker, with this linking of health records, the cross-matching and information sharing between health centers and hospitals will now be possible. Never before done, it is now possible, or going to be possible with this new intervention. This will result in a significant savings for the patients, as test results will be readily available, and the possibility of completing tests more than once will be significantly reduced.
The contract for phase 2 of the project is valued at just over $5 million or 779.5 million Jamaican dollars. Dr. Tufton says the 18-month implementation period for this contract will, in the first instance, see the rollout of the EHR in 13 facilities across 3 parishes. The EHR management system is part of the Support for the Health System Strengthening for the Prevention and Care Management of Non-Communicable Diseases program. It is financed by the Inter-American Development Bank at a cost of $50 million. In other health news, the Ministry of Health is introducing a pilot project that incorporates animals in healthcare interventions for pediatric patients at the Bustamante Hospital for Children. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton says the Animal Assisted Recovery and Care AARC pilot project will be implemented this Christmas and run for 18 months. It will target patients undergoing surgery or medical treatment that require long-term hospitalization, providing them with comfort to aid in their recovery. Minister Tufton says the goal is to reduce the anxiety and stress associated with hospitalization, cut the length of hospitalization, lessen the need for pharmacological interventions, and improve the social environment for healthcare delivery. A golden retriever named Dr. Teddy Barks, affectionately called Teddy, is the brand ambassador for the project and will be the main therapy animal. Several other animals will also be used in the project, including birds, rabbits, and kittens, following appropriate screening.
They are to come from either the Jamaica Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, JSPCA, the Hope Zoo, or the Montego Bay Animal Haven. And the Hope Zoo, Madam Speaker, will be responsible for Teddy's full care and maintenance under this pilot project.
The minister says a policy and procedural guideline document has been developed to outline the actions for the safe implementation of the AARC pilot project. The Southeast Regional Health Authority, SARA, will oversee the implementation of the project, while a multi-sectoral AAI committee has been convened to provide technical coordination and support, including animal handler compliance and animal welfare. The project will be evaluated at 6-month intervals, and a monitoring and evaluation framework has been developed to assess the pilot.
If successful, Madam Speaker, a cabinet submission will be made seeking approval of the development of the ARC program in the public health facilities island-wide.
And finally, 101 firearms and 3,000 rounds of ammunition were handed over to the authorities under the gun amnesty, which ended recently. During the 2-week amnesty, the security forces also recovered 22 illegal firearms. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the disclosure during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives.
It has surpassed my expectation. But there are still many more, thousands more firearms, illegal firearms in our country, not to mention illegal ammunition.
He says a number of the firearms that were turned in are from individuals who had not licensed the weapons for several years or who may have inherited them and did not bother to get them regularized.
The amnesty was necessary to give those persons an opportunity to dispose of these weapons without having to bear the consequences of the new penalties under the new act.
The Prime Minister is warning that persons found in breach of the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act 2022 will face the full penalty of the law. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.